Good morning. Before the day really gets going, let's just take a quiet moment to think about something we all go through, and that's failure. But maybe we can look at it a little differently today, not as some final stop, but as just part of an unfinished process.
It really does, doesn't it? I mean, when a plan just falls apart or something you worked on just doesn't pan out, there's this heavy feeling, right? Like a door just slammed shut for good. Okay, so let's unpack that feeling a little bit. Why? Does it feel so final? What is that feeling really telling us about ourselves?
Well, our mind immediately jumps to these conclusions, doesn't it? I wasn't ready. I'm just not capable. Or the big one, it just wasn't meant to be. And those little stories we tell ourselves, they are so powerful. They can turn a simple setback into this huge judgment on who we are.
So, why does it sting so much? Well, a big part of it is just how our brains are wired to see the world. And it's really important to know it is not just you. There's a real psychological reason these things feel so personal. See, we have this natural habit of just zooming right in on the final result. Was it a success or was it a failure? That's it. But when we do that, we completely miss the whole story of how we even got there. All the effort, the courage it took to even try, and everything we might have learned in the process. And this really gets at our mind's need for things to be simple. Our brains love to slap a label on things real quick. Success, failure, right, wrong. It makes things easy. But real life is almost never that clean, is it? It's messy. You can have a great process, a really thoughtful decision, and still end up with an outcome you didn't expect. The result just doesn't tell the whole story. So, okay, if we can't change the outcome that's already happened, maybe we can change how we look at it. And that shift, it almost always starts with changing the kind of questions we ask ourselves. And this is usually the first one that comes to mind, right? Why did this fail? Oh, it's such a heavy question. You can just feel the weight of it. It's totally loaded with judgment, and it's all about finding someone or something to blame. And that someone usually ends up being us. But now, try this one instead. Just feel the difference. What did this show me? See, this question isn't looking for blame at all. It's looking for information. It completely shifts your focus away from a final verdict and toward a new discovery. It's such a tiny shift in language, but it's just so powerful. It's the difference between staring at a closed door and seeing it as something that's actually pointing you in a new direction. Suddenly, that experience, even a painful one, has something to teach you about the road ahead. And once you start asking that question, what did this show me? You naturally start to see the whole idea of failure differently. It stops being this enemy you have to avoid, and it starts becoming, well, a kind of guide. So here it is. Here's the new definition to hold on to. Failure is just information. That's it. It's a signal that something didn't work the way you expected. Nothing more, nothing less. It's not a judgment on you. It's not the final word. It is just feedback. A totally neutral signal that says, hey, maybe try adjusting something here. And when you start to really see it that way, your whole approach just naturally starts to change. You stop being so afraid to try things because a setback isn't some huge catastrophe anymore. You learn not to take it so personally, to separate the outcome from who you are. And the most important part, you just stay in motion. You keep adjusting and you keep learning. Which kind of brings us full circle to a really simple, grounding thought. This is probably the most important idea to carry with you into your day. Yeah, just let that sink in for a second. We're always taught that success and failure are complete opposites, right? Two ends of a spectrum. But what if they're not opposites at all? What if failure is just a stepping stone on the way to success? So here's the final thought for today. That moment, that thing that felt like such a definite ending, it only actually becomes the end if you decide to stop there. As long as you're willing to learn from it and you're willing to take just one more step, well then it's not a failure, it's just part of the process. I hope you have a great day,